Yes, hello again. This is now tarot lesson number 132. And today we're going to look at the first 5 cards in a Celtic cross. Before that, I've 3 things to say. One is, a few days ago, I watched a video about productivity or something like that. But the person who began it by talking about how caves are formed. So a cave, the shape of a cave is created by water flowing through rock. And it occurred to me, maybe you and maybe we're all of us, think of ourselves as a cave, so that the shape that we are gradually is refined or changed over time. And then I thought, when you're doing a reading for somebody, you can tell them something, and instead of expecting it or wanting it to be massively important and life-changing for them, maybe what you're doing in a tarot reading with all the little bits and pieces that you talk about, and that's why I want to look at these 5 cards, maybe everything that you mention to do with the card, it's a little bit refinement of the inside of the cave. But you're dealing with with rock, and it's solid. So you can't really expect, or we shouldn't expect, that a reading, a 30-minute talk with somebody telling them what cards and pictures indicate, we shouldn't expect it to be life-shattering, or, you know what I mean? It's maybe think of it as a slow, gradual evolution of helping them in their own evolution, or in their own development or growth, or maybe wearing away the rough edges, the way that water would gradually over time make smooth something that is maybe begins as jagged. Okay, I'll get to that. I hope I remember to get to that when we're looking at these cards. However, if I don't, maybe remind me that I forgot. So, 2 things first. One is, if you go to thetarot.ca and scroll down the page, under the sign up form for the newsletter, there's going to be a button. And the button will say something like, today's date happens to be Saturday, the 16th of March. It'll be download number 1, because I put a PDF of 6 or 7 articles about the tarot. If you click on the button, the PDF will appear on screen, and then you right click save as, and you can download a copy of the 5 or 6 or the 6 or 7 articles, which are about cards and how to read them. That's one thing. The second thing is, I think it would be useful, and I want to do this, to make a tarot workbook. But I need you, who are at different stages of your study, beginning, intermediate, advanced, whatever you happen to be, I need you to tell me what to include and what to talk about, and how to organize the book. So if you want to participate in the project and help create a tarot workbook for everybody and anybody, email me, bllntr@yahoo.com, and tell me, and I'll put you on the mailing list, and we'll develop the thing as it goes. So this is the beginning of a Celtic cross that somebody did. And so the person asking the question had been involved, was in a relationship, or had been in a relationship that had gone bad, or that wasn't developing in any particular way. And this Celtic cross, the beginning of this one anyway, has to do with a relationship that is not working. So the first card was the Page of Swords. And I'm doing this mainly, well, not mainly, but in large part because people look at a page or look at a court card and you freak out. So what I'm saying, the reason I'm doing it is, when you see a page, don't panic. remember the cave idea. So you're dealing with somebody who is a cave, and you're the water flowing through the cave. And by what you say, all the different things, maybe you say 10 things about this card, 5 things about this one, 8, 7, 5. So you've got like 30 different things you're going to tell them. And the whole total will smooth out some area of their personality or their self or their life or their understanding of why they're on life in the first place. So instead of thinking, I must know what this card means directly and immediately, and I must tell the person something that will be very important for them, I think no, just talk. And as you get to the end of it, you will have helped smooth out a difficulty for them. It may still be jagged because we can't always solve everything in half an hour, but at least you're going to give them ammunition that they could use to help themselves develop. So with the Page of Swords, the person looks a little bit afraid. They're holding a sword, which can mean that they feel... Okay, the first card in the Celtic Cross is the atmosphere surrounding the question. So this question is about a Page of Swords. It's about somebody who is maybe feeling a bit defensive, or they feel the need to protect themselves against something. We don't know what yet because we've only seen one card. So on the one hand, it can represent the questioner. So they are not feeling that confident. It's a page, so there's a young person. So they are inexperienced. They're dealing with something they've dealt with before and didn't fix, or they're dealing with something that they've never dealt with before. One way or another, they're inexperienced, or they're not sure about how to solve the problem or how to handle the situation because it's a page, a young person. The other thing is, a page can also represent because it's about a relationship, it can also represent the other person. So people with court cards, often you want to know, who is it? Is it the questioner or somebody else or something else? And the thing is, it can be all three of them. It can be the questioner and the other person and what the question, the nature of the question. So you don't need to know. Maybe you've got an idea, or maybe it's more obvious that it's the questioner or it's the other person. It depends. But if you're not sure, don't worry about it. So the atmosphere surrounding the question or the questioner is doubtful or inexperienced or young or not very sure about what to do and feeling defensive because they've got a sword, and a sword is a weapon. So they're feeling defensive. And it's a bit like, and maybe you talk about being defensive and how to handle it. It's a bit like if somebody says to you, you're an idiot, you might decide, okay, I've got to defend myself and try and prove that you're not. Or somebody says to you, you're an idiot, and you say, I know, it's terrible, isn't it? I don't know what to do about it. Totally deflates the problem. So there are different ways of handling situations when you're feeling insecure. So the first card is the Page of Swords, and we talk about it when we're not going to know the answer, so to speak, until we get to the 10th card. So at this point, we're developing the story, or we're developing ideas, or we're helping the questioner become more knowledgeable about their current situation. So here we've got feeling the need to defend yourself. The second card is the 8 of Cups, and it's the obstacle. That's what's getting in the way of this person having confidence, maybe. And what we've got is it's cups for love and emotion and so on. So that would kind of make sense for a relationship. And it's somebody walking away. So you feel the questioner or the questioner feels undecided or a little bit doubtful because they know they ought to walk away, or the other person walked away and they don't know what to do about it. Or it's the question is one about indecision, and it has to do, the indecision has to do with, what do you do if something isn't working? Do you stay and try and fix it, or do you walk away and leave it all behind and move on to something bigger and better? And that can be what the problem is here. The Page of Swords opposed by the Eight of Cups. What do you do generally? And that can be a more general situation that the questioner is wondering about, or that's what the reading is about. So this person who did the reading, the third card goes down below and shows the foundation. The fourth one goes above and shows the immediate future. And this one over here shows the recent past. I use a different method. That's the foundation, what's passing away, what may come. And I go round in a circle like this. However, we stick with the foundation is the Two of Cups, which is another indication that the question is basically about relationships. How do you get along with people? What do you do? And here with this Two of Cups, there has been a connection between the two people in the past. So maybe that's why the Eight of Cups is here. That's why, because it was good in the past, that's why he or she doesn't want to move on and move on to somebody else. Because you know what it's like. There have been times with me when I was young, when I had a girlfriend and we weren't really getting along. But what are you going to do? Better somebody than nobody. And that can be what's represented here. The relationship may not have been that great, but at least it was something. And that can be why there's a page here that, okay, I got this relationship, but it's not great, but something's better than nothing. And I don't quite know, I'm not confident moving forward with it because, and again, we may come back to this Two of Cups later when we get to the end. So at this point, we're saying the foundations of Two of Cups. Somehow that's about the past. So it was good. You did have a connection. Then we'll do the order in which the reading was done. And the top card, the immediate future is the lovers upside down, right? So we've got the lovers, a man and a couple, right, upside down. So it's not going to work. The immediate future is you may have had something in the past, but it's not going to work in the future. So if the person wants fortune telling or they want a prediction, you can predict that it's not going to work. And it's a major trump. So it's not going to work because you're not compatible. You're not if somebody wants to know, ideally in a relationship, and this can be what the person's meant to think about and meant to begin to understand, what are relationships for? And what's required for a good relationship, and what's an indication of a bad relationship. And this can be what they're meant to think about. Here, with the major trump upside down, they haven't thought it through enough. They've been ignoring what wasn't working and hoping it would go away instead of facing it. And this can go back to why they're afraid or why there's doubt with this Page of Swords. So again, we're sort of uncovering ideas or possibilities that's adding water to the cave that the person is in. And we're gradually, by mentioning various things and giving them things to think about or giving them questions without answers or giving them answers, we're gradually helping them understand what they're going through at the moment. So with the lovers upside down as the immediate future, it's not going to work. So walk away, because the person, that's the obstacle. Walk away, be on your own for a bit, and then you'll figure out what you're looking for. And maybe it goes back to here, maybe with the Two of Cups as the foundation, you say to them, make a list of what worked in the past and what you want more of. And also be aware of what wasn't working and how you could handle it differently if it comes up again. But with the card with the lovers up here as what the immediate future, it's not going to work, because you're I don't know what to say. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. You're not made for each other, and you're better off to, if you're not made for each other. I sometimes wonder about people, they go to marriage counselling, and it works for some people, but sometimes you can discover that you're just basically not compatible. So what do? Do you stay together and suffer? Or do you, knowing that you're incompatible and you don't want that type of individual, do you go looking for the type of person you want? And somehow it's maybe worth thinking about, how would things be better if I actually had somebody with whom I was compatible? Okay, and then this card is, I think, the card that's moving away, and we've got the Two of Pentacles. So here you were together, you were getting along with each other. It led to this Two of Pentacles, and then Pentacles. So with the two didn't lead to the lovers. It didn't lead to great compatibility between you. It led to you having to juggle. It's upright, so you can manage. So are you juggling you and the other person? Or are you juggling you that wants the person and the you that doesn't want the person? Or the you that wants to be in love and the you that knows that you're not, but would prefer to pretend that you are just because it's easier? And one last thing I'll say, I'm getting on with the time here, is that the Two of Pentacles can represent a need for independence. And it can be that with the Two of Cups here and the Page and the walking away and the Lovers reversed, at this point, think about how you could be independent with somebody else. Even though you're in a relationship, it's still important that you get to do what you want to do and that you can do something. I used to know a fellow at a university, and there was a woman in my class, and she had a boyfriend, and the women liked to hang around with a group of us after class and so on. The boyfriend couldn't stand it. He kept interfering and messing things up for her. He couldn't leave her alone. I think he was just insecure, but he couldn't leave her alone. And that can be what the person is figuring out is important. Yes, by all means, be one with the other person and have a wonderful relationship and be close to each other. But it's also important that you've got your own self as well, and you don't just get lost in the relationship, because the point is you can get lost in a relationship, so you just become invisible, even though you're part of a couple. So that is what I did, or what I'm giving you to think about for the beginning part of A Celtic Cross. Leave a comment. Email me if you want to participate in the workbook project. Download the video, or download the PDF if you want from thetarot.ca. And then in a few days, I'll come back and we'll probably look at the rest of that Celtic Cross. But in the meantime, think about how you could incorporate the ideas into your own way of reading cards. That was it. Have a nice day. Okay, bye-bye.